Permanent makeup artist, are you still struggling to get your pre-sketch looking symmetrical on your left and your right side? If you are, give me 90 seconds. I've got a method for you which I'm sure is going to help you get that symmetry that you're looking for. I'm Kim from Kim Law Academy, and I help permanent makeup artists how to master the hyperrealism technique and teach them how to grow a profitable business without the horrible burnout. All right, let's talk about the grid method. So this is a method I teach all my students when they're starting to do the pre-sketch on the left and the right side. And it's a way for us to be able to do it symmetrically without just using our eye. Okay, so we have a framework. So the way it works is that you've drawn your brow shape, you've got the outline, so you want to split your brow into 7 equal boxes. Once you've done that, you can then navigate where your strokes are going and copy that over onto the other side. Let me explain. First, let me explain the numbers. You do not do this on skin. This is just for when you're practicing on paper and latex, so that you know when you're drawing your pattern, like down here, for example, this line here, you've gone from 0.6 down to 0.14. So that when you draw your left side, you do exactly the same, 6 down to 14, okay? So this is an example of without using numbers, but you can still follow the grid line. So I can see this stroke here, if I'm looking at this, I've gone from this grid line down to this grid line. So I know when I'm drawing my left side, I have to do the same. So let me give you an example of real skin. So you can see I've drawn the outline here on the brow, the shape of the brow, and then I've put in my grid lines using ideally white mapping string. Black is difficult because it blends with your black crayon and it's really hard to see which is your strokes and which is the grid line. So white mapping string ideally. And so I know now that when I start drawing in my sketch, I know that if I draw a line from this grid line down to this grid line, I have to repeat that on the other side. Okay, so what I recommend to all my students is that when they're practicing their patterns on paper, draw a stroke and then do it on the other side, and then do it on this side, and then do it on this side, one by one by one by one. Do that on real skin as well, and that's going to make sure that you do get symmetry from left to right. So listen, I've got a worksheet for you which explains this grid method in detail, how to use it, how to execute it. So if you want that grid method worksheet, comment grid in the comments below and I'll send it to you.